Raw Boxing TV, ladies and gentlemen. Been gone for a minute, traveling because of work. Right now I'm in Jackson, Mississippi. Shouts out to the people in Jackson, Miss. If you follow me and you happen to live in Jackson, Mississippi, I got to tell you, with all the respect, there's some stuff going on over here. There's some stuff going on over here. I had to scramble for a good hotel because some of the hotels I was finding, I was pulling into one, and as I was pulling into one, dude was getting robbed. They had him with the gun. As I was pulling into one, I was like, nope, I'm out of here. So, ladies and gentlemen, excuse the echo. I'm about to make me a little coffee so that I can be energized and finish this video. As a matter of fact, no, I'll do the video first. Ladies and gentlemen, Chavez Jr. versus the Spider-Man, Anderson Silva. Now, I gotta be real with you. I'm not totally opposed, and I know it's gonna be kind of controversial. I'm not totally opposed with some of this boxers fighting MMA fighters, as long as a retired boxer fighting an MMA fighter, possibly in an exhibition match. But I'm totally against a boxer fighting an MMA fighter and then that victory or defeat going towards his professional record. As you already know, Floyd Mayweather Jr. has been my favorite boxer since ever. But I was still in disagreement when he fought Conor McGregor. And they gave him the victory as part of his professional boxing record. To me, Floyd Mayweather should be 49-0. But I don't control the rules of boxing. But this is what I find interesting. Chavez Jr. versus Anderson Silva. I'm thinking that Chavez Jr. is looking for an easy payday. You know, if you look at what's happened with Chavez Jr., he hasn't lived up to the expectations of his father. He hasn't lived up to the legendary last name of Chavez. Chavez Jr. has quit in a couple of his fights. And I hate to say it, but yes, he has quit in a couple of his fights. And I think he's money hungry. Not necessarily that he's broke, but he's money hungry. He's victory hungry. He wants a victory at all cost. Right? He wants a victory at all costs. Let me find a place to just put this phone, because I'm tired of holding it as I do this video for you guys. So I'm gonna put this find a place to, there you go. He wants a victory at all costs. And there's a couple of things to take away from this. And I really want you to pay attention. With all of the up-and-coming fighters at 168 pounds, the fact that Chavez Jr. is going towards Anderson Silva, an old fighter, a fighter that hasn't been successful in the professional boxing rankings. I believe he has a few professional boxing matches. I don't know what his record is. But what this tells me is possibly that Chavez Jr. has completely lost his confidence in himself as a professional boxer at a higher rankings. Now, don't get me wrong. He's still got a name. He can still rack up a public. But listen to what I'm saying. There's good opposition out there, okay, for him to fight. I've been calling for a fight against Edgar Berlanga for a while. People saying, well, ain't nobody going past the first round with Edgar Berlanga. I've been calling. You can go back to my videos. I said, if you want a good fight to boost Berlanga up, if you want a good fight to give Berlanga experience, to give Berlanga past that first round, it's Chavez Jr. Because the kid can take a shot, right? Chavez Jr. could have gone, taken a fight with Berlanga and made really good money, because that's a fight everybody would have seen. You know, you got a prospect that's 16-0 with 16 knockouts, all of them in the first round. Puerto Rican, right? or Puerto Rican descent, but Puerto Rican. Can you imagine if now all of a sudden they announce Berlanga versus Chavez Jr.? People will go after it. But say Berlanga is not interested. Say Berlanga's got his eyes on something else, you know. I'm pretty sure that somebody like Chavez Jr. would like to have a shot at another title, right? There's a title holder there who's only 4-0. His name is David Morrell Jr., WBA champion of the world, 168 champion of the world. You could have given Chavez Jr. another title shot at a shot at 168 pounds. You know, but no, none of that is happening. Nothing like that is happening. Instead, we're seeing Chavez Jr. going against Anderson Silva, a man who's unfortunately hasn't been as successful as he should be. Yes, for many years he reigned king in MMA, but this isn't MMA. This isn't the time when he was at an age where he could perform. This is not the time where he was at an age where his stand-up game was great. It absolutely isn't. My question to the boxing fan is, how do you feel about this in reality? Because I sure as hell not liking what's going on with boxing right now. I mean, think about it. You got the Paul brothers with Ben Askren, and that ain't gonna be this is gonna be a legit fight. You got this joke now, Silva versus freaking Junior. I mean, what the hell is going on with boxing? That's all I want to know, people. I personally think Chavez Jr. is at the end of his career. I personally think Chavez Jr. has completely lost confidence in himself. I personally think he's going after Anderson Silva because he knows it's a fight that can make money, but also offer him the possibility of a victory due to the fact that Anderson Silva is not a seasoned professional boxer. Strictly boxing. I hope this is an exhibition, but I keep hearing it's an actual legit sanctioned fight. I don't know what your thoughts are. I should be home tomorrow. Hopefully this weekend I can bring you guys the videos about the other news of boxing. I'm just actually recording this to put something on the channel. Just to remind you, if you like the content, hit the thumbs up, subscribe, activate the notification bell, select all. And if you want, grab the link to this video and share it across social media. Hopefully I can make it out of Jackson, Mississippi alive. It's rough, and I'm in a very good hotel. Very, very good hotel. Executive rooms. And still, people's getting robbed left and right around here. Let me know what your thoughts are on this fight. I personally, not too crazy about it. But if it happens as a boxing fan, as a content creator, you already know what's going to happen. I'm going to be there glued to the seat, watching it, right? I'm going to be glued to the seat. I still believe Chavez Jr. should have gone against Berlanga. Should have gone against Morrell Jr., one of those up-and-coming fighters. But he's going versus Anderson Silva. Let me know what your thoughts are, man, on this fight. Raw Boxing TV, I'm out.